What's up, guys? My name is Mustafa and welcome back to Time Vision Talks. Today I'm joined with
Fike
and Nizar.
And today we're going to talk about if outward appearances define inner character. So basically, do the clothes you wear, do how you fashion your hair and facial hair, jewelry, do any of these things define who you are on the inside? What do you guys think, Fike?
Yes and no. I feel like what you wear is a representation of yourself or of your character to an extent. If you do choose to take that route to represent yourself, for example, celebrities, let's just say like a rapper, for example, mainstream rappers, a lot of the times we see them, you know, flossing out their jewelries, they got their grills, you know, they got the expensive brands on, and that's showing sort of like their status, not necessarily their character, but I feel like it's more of like a statement, you know? This is what I have.
Wealth. It's not like a display of wealth, like I have this much money, I can flaunt it, I guess. Because it's kind of like a style, you know, like dressing is kind of like a style, so like people have their own kind of style. Like you see like rappers, some of them look like different from other rappers.
Yeah.
They kind of have like a weird look. Like I guess that's kind of defined sometimes their kind of personality maybe.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I guess it sort of depends on where you are in your life as well, or what you want to show. Like for example, we could take J. Cole as an example, whoever listens to J. Cole. You know that like a few years ago or like earlier in his career, he was about flaunting, you know, jewelry, grills, whatever it may be. But now he's sort of taking that switch where he, like I was recently at his concert, now he never wears any chains, never wears any like bling, you know, like very down to earth, simple dude now, you know?
It's minimalism.
Yeah, and I guess you could say that at this point that is representing who he is, as opposed to before he was sort of like a different character, you know? And now that he's taking on this new sort of persona, his clothing has reflected that as well, or his representation.
So speaking on that minimalistic aspect, there's this article that I just pulled up. It's from the medium.com, and it says choice minimalism. Why Mark Zuckerberg wears the same thing every day. So basically it has a picture of his closet, and as you can see it's just a bunch of gray shirts, right? And Obama's outfitted choice, he always wears a gray blue suit with a bluish tie. And so some of the reasonings for these really successful people who are in a position of making decisions all day, right? Obama and Mark Zuckerberg, these are just two other people who is the head of something, right?
Yeah.
Obama was previously the president.
Position of power, you could
Position
say.
of power, right?
Yeah.
So some of the reasonings for their minimalistic choice in attire is that they don't want to spend valuable minutes or even seconds deciding what to wear in the morning, right? And it's not even that they're lazy, but it goes back into willpower. And there's a lot of articles on this, and I'm not sure if it's conclusive, but a lot of people say we have a certain amount of willpower in a day, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Everyone has a certain amount, and once you reach that limit, you're not the same person who you were before that limit. So every decision that you make takes a certain amount of willpower. Yeah. Some decisions take more, some decisions take less. So when you have a life where you have to constantly be making decisions every second that you're awake, right? And valuable decisions too, like decisions that make or break a country, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say.
These aren't like random decisions about, you know, what game should I play, but even those decisions take on your willpower, right? So the reasoning behind this minimalistic choice is I need as much willpower as I can for important decisions. So for non-important decisions such as clothing, I'm just gonna, you know, have a closet full of the same gray t-shirt, and every day I don't have to think about it, I'll just grab it, put it on, and that's it. So what do you guys think about that?
Nizar, you wanna go on that one first? Cause
I mean, what kind of like makes me think about is that, like I remember when I was younger, like I used to like kind of wear the same clothes because I had like a washing machine, so I didn't have like a big of a rotation. So like like when you're younger, kids are pretty like
You don't even choose what you wear. Your
yeah,
parents
like
choose what you
your
wear.
parents choose for you. So like
Yeah.
kids will be like, oh, why are you wearing the same clothes? I'm like, I wash them. Like
Like
just because I'm wearing the same clothes doesn't mean like I'm a dirty guy. Like I don't wash my clothes. I don't take care of myself. I'm quite the opposite. Like I try to stay neat. My room's like always like organized. I try to clean my clothes every week. It's not like I'm wearing the same thing trying to make myself dirty. You know, like
every
it's not. It's not every episode. It's not like I don't think really that what you wear is really defines who you are. I think it's, to me, like it's more of like I want to look good and I want to be comfortable too.
right.
I don't want to just.
I disagree still. I feel like what Mustafa was saying about Mark Zuckerberg wearing like the same t-shirts every day, or Obama wearing like the same suit every day, or like even if they have multiple amounts of them, that's fine. Like I get, like, you gotta be clean. That's very good. You need to be. If you're representing, you know, yourself in a public setting, you should always be as clean as possible. I feel like that's more important than what you're wearing. But what I disagree on is that if Mark Zuckerberg is wearing the same thing every day, it's because he has a bigger purpose. And that's sort of, his clothing sort of defines that. I'm wearing the same thing every day because I don't give a shit about how I dress, but the fact that I'm the CEO and the founder of Facebook, and I need to make crucial decisions every day.
One of the biggest social media, if not the biggest social media platforms.
One of the most richest people in the world at the moment. His focus is on how he needs to make decisions or grow his company or whatever the case may be. Same thing with Obama, let's just say. Or any person specifically that has that sort of power. You get what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter to them, because the way they're dressing, like that doesn't mean shit to them. You know what I'm saying? But I guess it's sort of like a representation of the character, that he doesn't give a shit about how he dresses, but the reason why he doesn't give a shit about how he dresses is because he has other shit to take care of. You know what I'm saying?
So like I feel like what you're getting at is not everyone is in that same position that Obama and Zuckerberg.
No, those are a very small percentage of the population is in that position, less than 1% for sure. Because like not everyone can attain that sort of success or that sort of power, you know, it's a sort of position. But I feel like what you do wear on a daily basis, or whatever you are wearing, or however you sort of style your hair, or, you know, do your beard, or whatever it is, it does represent you in some sort of way. Because if you think about it, like if a person is wearing a hijab, or a female is wearing like a headscarf, for example, what do we think automatically in our heads? Okay, she's a Muslim, or that's sort of her character, you know? So I guess you could say that if you see a person that's blinged out or whatever, they care about that, you know? They're like, okay, maybe jewelry matters to them. Maybe they want to flaunt what they have, you know?
Right.
So I feel like it is a direct, or possibly an indirect relation to your character, depending on your purpose or your focus or your mindset. You know?
So, just two things I have to say on that. I agree with your point, what you said. There are a lot of people who's, you know, just like we were saying, Obama and Zuckerberg, that's their occupation, that's their business. There are a lot of people whose business are outward appearances.
Exactly.
There's a lot of people whose businesses are, you know, fashion models.
Exactly.
There's people who are hairstylists. There's people, you know, jewelry makers. That's their whole business. That's their whole life. Their outward appearances is very important. And like, I'm not saying they're wrong either, but the second point I have to make on that is there's a lot of people who will dress up to make other people perceive them in a way that they're not really, right? There are people, like basically how we post a certain side of ourselves on social media. We want people to see the good side of us on social media, so they have good thoughts about us, right? Similarly, once we enter the outside world, we want people to have certain thoughts about us, so we want to present ourselves in a way. I don't think that's always matching their inner characteristics. So someone who's always jeweled out, or who's always wearing like expensive clothing, they wanna portray to the world that they have a lot of money, but they may not have that money. They just want people to think that. What do you guys think about that?
That's true. Yeah, like you're not, just because you're wearing really nice clothes doesn't mean you're gonna be rich. I mean, like I buy like decent stuff because
But you're rich as hell.
Man, I'm not rich as hell.
Don't lie.
I mean,
Nizar is actually really rich.
Super rich.
I'm not rich.
Mark Zuckerberg out here, part 2.
Okay. I'm saying independently. Maybe my family is rich around me, but like independently, I buy my own stuff. I don't depend on my parents. But like what I buy, I try to just buy things that are decent, but they still look good. Because I know if I look good, I'll feel good, and everyone else around me is gonna appreciate that.
Yeah.
So like,
good, you feel good. 100%.
Yeah. So like, I think like I definitely think that personality does have a relationship to like what you wear, and everything else. Like for example, like we're talking about like hijabs. Like I've seen a lot of like women wear hijabs. Even hijabs themselves, they have different styles, and that speaks to the person who's wearing the hijab.
Yeah, no doubt.
And
that's just one example.
Yeah.
There's like so many
of examples, and it depends on the factors too. Like for example, like Obama and Zuckerberg. It depends. Like Obama always has to wear a suit because that's what's expected of him.
Yeah, 100%.
What do you think would happen if the man came in with like Zuckerberg clothes?
Yeah, you wouldn't take him seriously. But then that's a whole nother thing. Like, does that define sort of an intelligence aspect that we were sort of talking about before we got a camera?
So like here's another thing, like glasses. A lot of people think if I wear glasses, people will think I'm smarter, you know? That's a common stereotype. You might have seen it on TV, you might have seen it on cartoons.
4 eyes.
You know?
Thick glasses.
And like, there's people who get non-prescription glasses just for the style of it.
I feel like that's not because of the intelligence aspect or to be smart, but yeah, it's like a style thing that there have been times where glasses are in trend, you know, that a specific type like Ray-Bans or whatever sort of brand that's popular or popping at the moment. But it's like a fashion statement thing, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily mean that you have prescription glasses, but it's like a fashion statement. Yeah. Like some people are dressed nice and do all those things just because they're into it, you know? Like I know people that buy like Yeezys and all these like expensive sneakers or expensive clothes, but it's not even necessarily for show, but it's sort of like a passion that, okay, yo, I'm a sneakerhead, I want the best sneakers. But I'm not doing it to show you, I'm doing it because it's sort of like my passion. I enjoy it.
It's for yourself.
You know, it is for yourself. And yeah, if you are that, then that does define you. I mean, if you're the only dude in class that always has like the newest Jordans or like the newest Yeezys or the best kicks, you know, that's gonna say something about you that, okay, you like kicks.
People are defining as, you know, the man, who's that man? He's like, that's the man that likes the kicks, you know? Like,
exactly. So yeah, but I feel like with clothing and it defining who you are, it's a matter of, it's more so if you want it to be a choice, you know, like if you want to represent yourself through your clothing or, you know, like speak volumes by the way you dress, then yeah, then you're gonna go for it. Yeah, but there are people that don't even give a shit about how they dress. Then maybe Mark Zuckerberg is one of those dudes that, okay, same thing every day, I don't give a shit, like I'm focused on my goals, I'm trying to do this, you know? So it doesn't matter to him, and that's what it is.
So here's this other thing, you mentioned earlier, women who wear hijab, headscarf. So on that whole topic, not to get too controversial, but I'm sure a lot of you guys have known people who have an outward religious or pious or, you know, spiritual, any of these key terms, right? They want to show that character, they dress a certain way, but their character doesn't necessarily define what they're showing.
Then and that's the sort of point I want to click on, is that then they don't care. They do it because either they have to, like their parents are maybe
they want to impress someone else.
Yeah, or they just don't care. Or, yeah, like they're just trying to impress someone maybe. Yeah. Or be someone, or show. Nowadays we can show someone or show other people who we're not easily through social media. Like we can always put up like a representation of ourselves that might not really be the real us, you know. And I feel like, especially with social media, there's a lot more pressures to be a certain type of way or to meet a certain standard that will force us to do certain things that, or dress in a certain way that may not be in line with our character. But who knows? Who's the judge? At the end of the day, you're the judge of that, you know?
Yeah.
So I can't say for sure.
There's definitely a lot of factors still, like variables. Depends on exactly like even how you're brought up. Maybe like, I think like Mark Zuckerberg, you know, like maybe the man was brought up, you know, he's like, he doesn't really care about how he looks. He's always been focused on like his work, like you said, he's always been focused on his work and like where he wants to get to, what's his end goal. So I guess like the man's always been like, while he was growing up, he's been brought up to like just care about his, how do you say, like his career. Focus on his career, not really about like what he wears. I guess that's not like his most important value.
Okay, so now my question is that, now that we've sort of kind of agree, all three of us, is that your clothing does represent your character to an extent. I'm not saying 100%, but a portion of it, or to some sort of degree, it does.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, can you judge a book by its cover?
Yeah, I was just about to bring that topic up. There's a lot of stories that you see where people are covered in tattoos, people are covered in piercings, leather jackets.
And you think there's gonna be like a douchebag or like an asshole?
And you're really
like
scared of,
guy.
yeah, and he's the nicest guy ever. And you know, a lot of people, you know, in suburban areas who fear that. Not only do they not like it, they fear that. There's a lot of people who see bearded men and they fear that.
Yeah.
Out of what they think are stereotypes that they see on TV. So the question you brought up, can you judge a book by its cover? I don't think so.
I don't think you can judge a book by its cover, but I feel like when you look at the cover, you can sort of understand what the book is about.
Yeah.
Kinda. There's been books where I looked at the cover and like it looks really awesome, but the book has nothing to do about that cover.
Well, that's very tough.
But sometimes you don't have like the options to like really delve into someone or like what, for example, the book. You don't really, like, say you're looking at it online, like through Amazon. You just look at the cover. You don't really have like the information to like, you know,
Right.
like see what's inside, what's the story. You can't really base it off of that. But like it does, yeah, to a certain extent, you can judge a book by its cover. But overall, I think judging a book by its cover it's not a true thing. Like it's not gonna represent it.
And my final point on that is you could wrap up a turd in a nice gift wrap. It's still a turd once you open it up.
Some gold.
That's all the next video, guys. We're gonna do that.
What do you guys think? Leave us the comments below. What do you guys want us to talk about next?
Whatever it is, just tell us.
Tell us,
We'll
can you
talk
judge a
about it.
book by its cover? I want to know, because I'm confused now. Like, should I or should I not?
We'll buy like 10 books and look at them. And we'll read
I'm
them.
down. Next week we should look at some books. What is
Alright,
this book about?
this has been Time Vision Talks. My name is Mustafa.
Fike.
My name is Azar, and I'll see you next time in the next topic of the next episode of the next segment.
Peace out, y'all.